There's a rhythm to monastic life that rarely changes. Wake, pray, work, pray again, eat in silence, pray more, sleep humbly. The details shift, but the shape remains. We don't cling to things, not even the rooms we sleep in. They are not ours. They're borrowed spaces on borrowed time. That's what I reminded myself when I was reassigned to room 12 in the West Hall of St. Mary Magdalene's Convent. This was in the fall of 2003. I had just returned from a year assisting a mission in rural New Mexico and was told gently that my old cell had been needed during my absence. Room 12 was available. I said yes without hesitation. Obedience isn't always glamorous, but it is freeing. The room itself was simple: wooden floor, small crucifix above the door, iron bed, one window looking toward the orchard. It smelled faintly of cedar and floor polish, clean, plain, just as it should be. The first morning, I woke early, before the 4:45 bell. That's not unusual for me. What was unusual was the pair of old leather shoes beside the bed, not mine, dark brown, low-heeled, the kind worn under full habits prior to the reforms. Well cared for, but aged, and not dusty either. They looked recently placed, deliberately. I checked with Sister Jacinta, our sacristan, to see if any items had been moved during cleaning. She said no. I brushed it off. Perhaps a storage mistake. Perhaps a sister retrieved something and placed them by accident. I tucked the shoes under the wardrobe and said nothing more. But the next morning, they were back. Placed neatly, side by side, facing outward. This happened 3 days in a row. No sound during the night, no signs of intrusion. I kept my cell door locked. We do that here, not out of fear, but for simplicity and recollection. Still, each morning, there they were. On the fourth day, I brought it up to Sister Honora, our community's archivist, and one of the few remaining sisters who had been professed before 1970. When I described the shoes, she didn't speak for a moment. Then she said very softly, "Room 12, that was where Mother Clare died." Mother Clare had served as Mother Superior for nearly 20 years, known for her discipline and her profound Marian devotion. She passed away in that very cell in 1966, peacefully, after Vespers. They say she was sitting upright in her chair, rosary in hand, shoes placed carefully by the bed, as she always did. They buried her in her full habit, barefoot, as was our custom. But the shoes, they were left behind, polished one last time, then placed in the wardrobe by Sister Veronica, who had been her personal assistant. Records show they were never reassigned. Sister Honora and I returned to my room together. The shoes were there again. She picked one up and nodded. Yes, these were hers. We stood silently for a moment, not afraid, not unsure, just present. That evening, I prayed for Mother Clare, not because I believed she was suffering, but because prayer belongs to the living and the dead. I offered a rosary at her grave. I thanked her for the room. I told her I would take good care of it, and after that, the shoes stopped appearing. They've never returned, but I never moved them again either. I left them where they belonged, tucked quietly under the wardrobe, still polished, still waiting. We don't teach about ghosts here, but we do believe in the communion of saints. And I've come to believe that sometimes when a soul has spent its life in service, praying, leading, guiding, what they leave behind isn't just legacy, it's presence. Not to haunt, but to remind that every cell, every floorboard, every prayer said in silence mattered. And sometimes, even after death, a Mother Superior still checks to make sure things are in their place. Amen.